Okay, so once you get feedback on your sketch from me, so make sure you check that on Canvas, then you could go ahead and start your hat. Start actually drawing on it. So first thing you want to do is use pencil to draw any major marks you need. Now if yours is more of an abstract design, you might not have to do that, but mine, I have the clear Ace All-Star logo that I put there. Then I'm going to go ahead and get out my watercolor paints, because this one I'm going to experiment with kind of blending and using watercolor. So I'm going to get those out and start painting. So I've mixed my watercolors to get this tealish green color that I wanted. Next, I'm just going to go for it. Now, if it doesn't work out, I could always paint over it and do some other design. If not, though, then I could keep rolling with it. So that's really dark to me, so I'm going to just grab straight water and kind of blend it out, because I wanted this to look like very painterly and patchy on the hat. So I was worried that my color wouldn't be strong enough, but I could see it's actually like works really well on the hat. It like goes down really, really strong. So I'm just going to keep painting over that till I'm happy with how it looks. Now this is still going to dry lighter once the water is all, kind of soaked away. Something you could do first, depending on the look you want, is to cover any area of the hat that you want to be painted with water first and then apply the color, because then things will kind of blend out. So I've got the part of the hat painted that I wanted. Now I'm going to let this dry before I do anything else, and I could kind of see how it's going to look all finished. If you want to speed up the process, you could go grab a blow dryer and dry it. Just a couple of words of caution. Number one, if you're planning on using Sharpie on top of watercolor, make sure this is completely dry, because if it's not, the Sharpie will bleed and kind of ruin your design. So there you go. So this is what it looks like dry. It got quite a bit lighter, but I think I like it. I may add a little bit more paint on this side just to even it out. But something I want to point out, I didn't realize I had some like paint residue on my fingers, and I touched the top of the hat, so I have some stains there. I tried to paint them over with white acrylic, but they didn't really cover it. So if this happens to you, all you should do is like figure out a tweak to your design to cover mistakes like that. So I'm just going to write the word cheer really pretty over this area, so hopefully I could cover those little spots. Also, while I was waiting for this part to dry, I went ahead and painted the underside white, because I eventually want to do like a graffiti type lettering inside the brim there. Now make sure before you add anywhere that you touch it, and if it still feels cold, that means it's not quite dry yet. So you do want it completely dry before you start adding layers, so just test it. If you're getting impatient, again, you could just grab a blow dryer and blow dry it for a few minutes. Here's the finished hat. So you can see I went a little bit darker and went a little more wild with the watercolors on this part of the hat. Just if you choose to use watercolors, keep in mind it's really hard to control, so you have to be okay with it looking very painterly and kind of almost tie-dye like. Then I went over it with some Sharpie, and then I decided to go over that again with black acrylic. The Sharpie looked okay, I just thought the acrylic was a little bit stronger, and then I did some acrylic painting underneath. So that's a finished hat. Here's another example I made for my husband. He wanted just a simple design. He wanted the hat to look mostly white, but then under the brim I decided to do a pattern like that. So here's some ideas to hopefully get you thinking about what you want to do to your hat, but I'm excited to see what you make.